there anything in your reporting for this new article that you didn't know back in June when you first reported? That was about 2 weeks before the debate between Trump and Biden, which revealed everything.
Yeah, there's a lot in this piece that came to light to us after that debate, after the initial story that came out, and after the debate. We have found that over the past few weeks and months, Democrats have become much more willing to come forward and talk about their experiences with the president and with this White House. And, you know, I'm quite grateful for that. That's helped us really understand, you know, more fully understand the situation that has been going on for the last 4 years.
Okay, so here's some criticism of your reporting from back then. Joe Scarborough said, "I have repeatedly stated on air that I am an avid reader and cheerleader for the Wall Street Journal. That is what makes this false, biased story so disappointing. It is undermined immediately by the massive weight on the record." And then you had Ben LeBold, he's the White House comms director, say, "Yep, complete and utter editorial fail by the Wall Street Journal. Makes you wonder who they're taking orders from." This is from the same people who want, you know, a return to norms and for democracy not to die in darkness. Was there anybody that you felt was not truthful to you back in June that was talking to you now?
Look, I think that the White House knew exactly what they were doing in June.
I think this was their blueprint, right? To just drop someone in there who is brain dead so they can control. Biden is not in charge. Kamala would have been the same. She's a puppet. I think the main people here are, you know, the former president, Pelosi, all of them, they are in this. They are the ones running things behind the scenes, in my personal opinion. Remember, they removed Joe Biden. That's no longer a conspiracy theory. That's fact. I mean, if you don't want to accept that, then you must be living under a rock. But these same people, I think, they thought, oh, they cracked the nuts. They found the formula. It doesn't matter who is running or who is in the White House. They'll just become the puppet master and control them. So whoever they put in there, they have the vote. So they tested it in 2020. Joe Biden, we know it all started way then. I mean, he ran 2020 without really, he had started declining, and we could see that. But the mainstream media was just lying to us. Thankfully, most of the American people, they saw it this time. I mean, that debate just exposed everything. Anyway, some say it's a conspiracy that they wanted him out, so they allowed him to just soil himself right there in public. But this was their formula. They thought they got this right, that if Kamala had won, it would have not mattered who they put up for the Democratic Party nominee. She would just win, landslide, and the cycle will continue. Meanwhile, the shadow government will keep on ruling America. Thank God Trump won.
So, Bill, let's call this the Great Biden Christmas border wall heist that President Trump, with a little help from his friends in Texas, stopped and caught him red-handed. Here's what happened, Bill. Last Thursday, the story broke when a border wall agent or a border agent said they were moving wall. I happened to be on Laura Ingraham that night as that story broke, and I said, well, I've got $1 billion in my pocket. We'll go buy it all. Well, we looked the next day, and it wasn't there. It was just old stuff was there, or maybe some photos that they were kind of masquerading what it was. Because what happened, Bill, is this summer, they notified us of an auction. We bought $12 million worth of border wall, about 4 miles, a big savings to our taxpayers. But they didn't tell us about this auction, as we find out. So they moved that wall, started last weekend, and that's when it started showing up. Fox had video of it, photos of it, and they were hustling it to Arizona to auction off yesterday. In the meantime, President Trump came out and said, this could be a criminal act. You better not do it. And we sent our people over there with our checkbook and said, we'll buy it all if it's good. We think they were trying to sneak 8,000 panels or more under the nose of the American public, under the nose of the states, because they didn't notify us of the auction. They hid the photos, but President Trump caught them. Don't mess with Trump and don't mess with Texas.
This news just keeps coming. This is a little bit old, but I just wanted to point something out. You see, the Biden administration is just doing things with impunity now. I wonder why. Don't they think that they will be held accountable once they're out of office? Anyway, they may be covering their tracks as well, but this is as plain as, I mean, it's just broad daylight stuff, right? We don't care anymore. We're just doing our stuff. Is it Biden just trying to screw over the Democratic Party? I'm going down. Yeah, I'm taking the whole house with me, because it gives that vibe. Because the decision-making process of Biden of late, It's really, really baffling. That's why some say it's his staff making those decisions, because they know they will not be held accountable. Yeah, because they are not in office. Everything will go under Biden, and definitely he may not even know what's going on. Maybe he doesn't know they're selling the border walls, those staffs, because they're the one running the country. But anyway, it's a good thing that Trump stepped in and just twat this broad daylight scam of the American people.
This is the biggest scandal in America, and the level and volume of people who dedicated themselves to lying to everyone at home about this man's condition for 4 straight years up through this summer is breathtaking. It's a scandal of epic proportions, and it's a fair question to ask: who is running the country? Who has been running the country? And as I said earlier, if you're worried about Donald Trump's advisors having influence, for the last 4 years, apparently this president, duly elected, but this president was not capable of fulfilling the duties of the office. And his staff and the White House lied about it and kept it from the American people. It's an absolute scandal. We elect people for a reason. The elected leadership of the government is supposed to be making decisions. For 4 years, the unelected have been in charge of our country during critical moments. We don't live in a country where the unelected are supposed to rule us. We live where the elected are supposed to rule. My problem is, for 4 years, we were lied to about who's actually running the country. This is a...
Well, we cannot end this segment without bringing up our good friend, Scott Jennings, just schooling this CNN host and panel. Literally, he just says everything out there that everyone knows, except the Democrats, whom I think they are being paid to lie openly. You see, they were just shell-shocked. They were like sitting there listening. They have no counter arguments because it's just plain facts, truth, common sense. Biden has not been running the White House for the past 4 years. The staffs have. Maybe Blinken and this guy in defense, they're the ones who've been running things. Biden has just, well, he's just been there. You know, they say, sign this paper, he signs. Sign this paper, he signs. And that's it. And he doesn't even know what's in those bills. So for the Democrats to say democracy was on the ballot, meanwhile, all the while, they've been twatting democracy. First of all, Kamala Harris didn't win in the primary. They just, you know, they just appointed her. You're the next in line. Take over your throne. That's not democracy, in my personal opinion. And I don't understand. They do these things, yet they accuse others of doing the same thing they are doing. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And they do this over and over again. Even up till now, that the American people have really been they have just seen things for what they are. They still think people are still dumb. And they repeat the same lies over and over. When are these people going to wake up? Joe Biden has not been ruling the country for the past 4 years. It is evident. Look at the damning report. So who has been running the country? Who is that shadow government? Anyway, these next 4 years, I think Trump will uncover that shadow government, and they are panicking. That's why they'll do everything to bring him down. They've tried everything, lawsuits, assassination, everything. They've tried it, but he's still standing. And hopefully this next 4 years, America is going to straighten up, because a strong America is good for the world, right? It affects everyone. I'm not an American. I don't live in America, but I understand a strong America is good for everyone. An America where there is law and order, not lawlessness, is good for everyone. So I'm just happy that most people have really, they are awake and they can see things for what they are. Democratic Party is losing lots of members. Unbelievable. The rate at which they are losing members is unbelievable. Yet they are lackeys on the media. They keep on peddling the same lies. This next 4 years, it's going to be good for those who have common sense. But for those who don't want to reason, I feel pity for you. Happy New Year in advance. Cheers. This is Black Coffee anyway. This is Black Coffee. Make sure you subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and share this video. Cheers.